I always say that Ryan and I get to walk the beaches of the world together. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's wonderful. You know, as I sit in these summits, this is my 20th year in this industry. And this is my 18 and a half years being with Retriever. I sit in the front row and I watch all these presentations of mint and clover. And I feel like the new doofus guy just starting out in the company because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you the truth. I sell regular terminals and I'm starting to sell these. And my explanation when I go in is like, even when the point came out, showed it to them, I couldn't even figure out where the button was to turn the thing on, right? So I turn the thing on, and like, what does this do? I'm like, it's great, it does everything. It takes credit cards, it does, yeah, it's got that. Everybody that has it, they love it. That was my presentation, and I'm glad people like it, right? So I watch the mint, and I told Eric, I said, I'm taking a video of that because I have no idea what I'm doing there either. Clover, Shannon, I'm the same thing, taking a video of that. And I'm saying to myself, man, if I learn this stuff, I could probably start making some money here. So we have an opportunity. The word of the day that came to me this morning was appreciate. Now, those of you that know me, I get up at 4 in the morning, and I know a lot of you guys last night, like, hey, Rich, come over here, and I kind of sneaked out, snuck out, and I was a good boy. Got to my room about 10. I was up, and I actually woke up at 3:30 this morning, and did my exercises. By the way, not bragging or anything, but I feel better than I ever have in my entire life. I'm not 60 yet, but I'm getting closer to that. But I do 205 push-ups in the morning, 205 sit-ups, 205 jumping jacks, and I go for a 35-minute walk. I do that every morning. I feel better than I ever have in my entire life. And as I was walking, I walked through the hallway in the hotel this morning, right about 4:30. I saw some of you guys coming in for the night. I'm just kidding. But I'm walking, and the word that came was appreciate. It just was bang, appreciate. And I stand here, and sometimes it's overwhelming how much I appreciate everything. And Pete talked about this. By the way, Pete, I've known Pete for 50-some years. When he talked about brain damage, he already had that. But it was appreciate, and I just appreciate what we have here because we take things for granted. We really do. And I hear some of you guys talking, you're at the bar, you got your drinks, and I make this a residual, make that a residual. And, nobody does that ever, right? Nobody. But we talk about that, we talk about the trips, and we talk about, here we are, we're announcing, these guys won $7,500, $3,500, they're going on a trip to paradise. We don't go to Oshkosh, Wisconsin, okay? We go to the Bahamas. Not only do we go to the Bahamas, but we go to the one and only resort in the Bahamas. That's a place where movie stars stay. When you get there, they have a butler that does everything for you. They iron your clothes. They have the most beautiful toilet bowls I've ever seen in my entire life. They do. Those are the trips that we go on. You guys understand. That's the trips that we go on. And then we talk about the money. We look at the residual. And sometimes I look at the residual and I show it to my wife. She's like, oh, that number just hurts watching that. But I'm telling you, appreciate the word. Because I know what it's like to come to the first summit. I remember when I first started out, sometimes people think, well, you should be positive. You make all kinds of money. You've got everything going on. But I sat in my first summit. I was just broke. I shouldn't have even been there because I couldn't afford to go. And I know I'm talking to a few people that might be in that level right now. But guess what? That's okay because we have a slogan. It keeps getting better. And it keeps getting better. And the years go on, and the years go on. And I remember, I thought about this morning as I was thinking about appreciating. And I went on a trip with Brian, and I think Ron, a couple other people, Dave was here, some of the old timers were there. there. And we were there in the Bahamas, and there was other ISOs and other different people that were there. And Brian introduced me to some of the people. He said, see this guy? This is when I was kind of newer in the business. He said, see this guy? He makes about $25,000 a month in residual. Now, I wasn't even close to that at that point. He makes about $25,000 a month. He goes, Rich, one day you're going to get to that point. I'm thinking to myself, that sounds good. I never thought about that before, but the belief that Brian showed me. And then there was another guy that I met. He said, see this guy right here? He makes over $50,000 a month in residual. I'm making about 6 at the time. And he said, you're going to be at that level. I'm like, damn, yeah.
Rich
I'd
stuff
love
like
to be
that.
at that level. Here it is as years have gone by. Now, it's not just about the money. But let me tell you this. I've been broke, and I had money. I like having money without that. And I didn't witness on that. So years later, and well beyond my imagination, the numbers have far exceeded that. And I thought that Brian, because it's the other guy, I have to tell you the last guy, I didn't really like that guy. I'm not going to mention who he was, no, but I know Brian knows what I'm talking about. I didn't really like the guy, because he was kind of one of those arrogant salesmen. You know, oh yeah, yes, maybe you'll be like me type of guy. Right? So I think we should go back to the Bahamas and invite him there on a separate trip. And then Brian introduced me back to him. He said, see this guy? This is Rich Norton. You will never be like that. So I have a question. Here's the question of the day. I have my assistant, Michelle Urso. She's going to throw it up there on the board. If you can get it. All right, here's the question. What are your plans for 2020? Now we talk about that. People say, I have New Year's resolutions. I got my goals. Oh, here's Rich Norton talking about goals again. No, I'm not going to talk about goals. What are your plans for 2020? I'm talking about what do you actually plan on doing in 2020? Now, if you haven't done this yet, I want you to write this down. I want you to get the piece of paper. Please take notes of it because I got some good stuff. This is all coming at no extra cost. On the top of your paper, I want you to write down plans. Now, before you leave, whenever you're leaving today or over the weekend, write it all down. What are your plans? What are your family plans, business plans, financial plans, travel plans, ministry plans? Write them all out and make a plan. Now, there's a book, now I'm not going to get all preachy with you guys, but there is a book that that's out there. And the name of this book I highly recommend, which helps with every aspect of your life. The name of the book is called The Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. Okay? The Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. Let me give you a little background about this book. It has been written by more than 40 different authors. It has 185 songs in the book. It's a #1 seller. It's sold over 5 billion copies, over 100 million or so every year. It's translated into 532 languages. 66 books are inside the book. Here's one of the things I thought which was kind of cool. This book is known as the book that's stolen the most. Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. If you haven't figured it out, some of those seedy motels that you might have stayed in has that book in there when you're in the early days of sales. You'll get that. But there's a book in there, and I'm going to take 3 words out of this scripture here out of the book. It's Jeremiah, and it's in chapter 29. It's verse 11. It's going to be on the screen for you right there. And it says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." The author of that book wrote that for you. I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. You guys realize that you are designed for greatness. Every person in this room is designed for greatness. There's greatness within you. It's right there. It's dying to come out. And we want you to have the very best. So I'm going to take 3 words out of that, and I'm going to focus on one, and I'm really going to focus on this one the most. It's prosper. Prosper, to succeed in an enterprise or activity, especially to achieve economic success, to become strong and flourishing. Our goal is to prosper in every phase of our life. Now, in this book, the basic instructions before leaving Earth, it probably talks more about money than anything else, if you guys didn't realize that. Now, I want to get real with you guys. When I said that you are designed for greatness, you are designed to have the very best. I'm going to talk about prosperity when it comes to money. Because I said that before I ever broke, had money, I enjoy having money. And sometimes people, they have misconceptions about money. They say, money's not everything. Well, it's not. But who says that? People with no money. So how do they know? Right? Even that song, you guys have heard me say that before. Even though we ain't got money, I'm still in love with you, honey. Then she sees a guy with a Corvette driving down the road. Or sometimes people say, money is the root of all evil. Have you ever heard anybody say that before? That is not true. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. If you love money and you make money your God, then you're doing the wrong thing. So there's nothing wrong with having money. Now, I believe in this room, there's going to be some millionaires coming out of this room. And you guys never even thought about that. You really did. You think, millionaire? I'm happy with my 20 grand a month. I'm doing good. I got residualitis. I will talk about that. There's millionaires that are ready to come out of this room. I'm talking about going to a higher level, a level beyond your imagination. We're going to talk about becoming debt-free, having no debts, building a lifetime of the residuals, income for an entire lifetime, all the things that you can do to bless other people. Because I believe we are blessed to become a blessing to other people. How many of you agree with that? So, this opportunity that we have allows us to do great things and make great money. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover some things that are going to help you. Please, I am so passionate about this. I am so passionate about this. We don't talk much about money, and we talk about money, what we make and everything, but it's time to get organized. So write that down. Get organized. And here's the things that are going to help you. Separate your business from your personal when it comes to money. If you're not doing that already, you should not be mixing the things together. Have a separate bank account exclusively designed for the business. Like, for example, this weekend, everything should have been on that business account. Nothing else, no personal. So whatever is designed for the business, you use for the business. Whatever is personal, you keep that completely separated. The next thing, I am old school. Have a daily appointment book. Now, I know there's a lot of apps out there. I use them. That's great. But if you were to ask me, here's what's cool about this. If you were to ask me, Rich, what area did you work on April 17th? How many miles did you drive? How much did you spend in gas? What merchants did you visit? Where did you eat at? I'll tell you exactly what I did. Now, it's not up here, but it's in that book. So I'm organized. I know exactly. And that applies to sales, too. Because sometimes we fly by the seat of our pants. Where are you working today? I don't know. Haven't thought about it. You should organize all week long. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Know exactly where you're working. That's a side note to help you in sales. Also, keep track of everything, which I just talked about. Here's another thing that we don't really like to talk about. And let me bring this up to you in case you didn't know. I'll say this off. We do have to pay taxes. Got that? Okay. Just because we're independent, we still have to pay taxes. So here, I'm going to give you a little helpful hint. Because how do I know all this stuff? Because I did it the wrong way. I know, I'm going to be transparent with you, I know what it's like to owe the IRS almost $100,000. Not in this business, but for my previous business. I wasn't organized. So, understand this, 25% of your money is not yours. Everybody got that? Probably more, you should set aside more. So take 25% of your money, put it in a separate fund. That's not your emergency fund. That's not your money. That's the government's money. And then every quarter, I have my CPA do this. I have a form, and I send the money in every month to make sure that matches up with every quarter. And you know what's a good feeling? At the end of the year, when I go to my CPA, she'll say, did you send all that money in for the year? I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, I've done your taxes. You've got about 30 grand left over. Apply that to the next year. I don't want it. And now I got to advance on the next year. So I don't worry about it anymore. So understand, everybody got that, 25% is not yours. Who does it belong to? The government. All right. Here's something that I'm really passionate about as well. This is good stuff. This is amazing, fantastic stuff. Become debt-free. Become debt-free. A borrower is a slave to the lender. There's a reason why they call it MasterCard. A borrower is a slave to the lender. There's a book. Okay, I'm going to get real transparent. I don't mind telling my story at all. Many years ago, when I first started in the business, I shared that with you. I owed almost 100 grand to the government. We were in debt. My wife and I, she had student loans, all kinds of money, debt, all kinds of debt. We were just crazy, right? And I made a commitment with her, and we got this book, which is not a get-rich-quick book or anything, but it's called The Total Money Makeover. And it's by Dave Ramsey. He has a podcast shows, he's on radio. Now, we just took that book and we said, we're going to follow these principles. And basically what it is, it's a plan on how to become debt-free. And here's a little tidbit that'll help you. You take all your debts from the biggest to the smallest, and you write them all out. And then, so you write them all out, okay? And at the bottom, what you're going to do is you're going to pay minimum, and you're attacking the smallest one. And when you got that out of the way, you move up to the next one, cross it off, move up to the next one, cross it off, move it up to the next one, next one, next one. And this doesn't matter how much money you make. You can say, well, I don't make enough. Well, you got to quit spending money, all right? You just check them off, check them off, check them off, and before you know it, you have become debt-free. Now, I went from that to where I am today. And I've been debt-free for a long time. And I keep buying houses just so I can have, motivation to keep working. Right? So on our third house, it'll be paid off. I was telling Brian, 6 months it'll be completely paid off. So that means I got to buy another house. Okay. Yeah, and I know where the blessings come from. So become debt-free. And then also, here's what you want to do is have a success financial plan. Once you become debt-free, then you can start saving some money. I've been doing this for a long time. Even when my residual wasn't that big. I made a commitment that I've got to put 15% into long-term investments. How many of you have ever heard of the SEP? Or that's a SEP IRA, right? That's exclusively designed for business owners, independent contractors. I've been doing that for over 10 years now. The SEP right now, I looked this up, you can actually put $50,000 a year.
54.
No, they moved it up. Yeah. 57,000, that's the new one. You can put in, and you just write it off. at the same time. Now, I've been doing that, just that program in itself, I put away, and I'm not bragging, but I put away over $1 million just in that program in itself, not including all the other long-term investments. Now, that's what you can have. That's what you can have. It's all about having a plan. Because here's what happens. People make a lot of money, but they spend a lot of money. And they become broke at a higher level.
Amen.
You ever hear that? Right? Broke at a higher level, also known as all flash and no cash. So you don't want to be that person. What a nice feeling it is to wake up in the morning knowing that you're debt-free and you got a bunch of money and more money's coming in. It's a fantastic feeling. How about buying a house? People say, I need to buy a house, I need to buy a house. Here's my rule. This is Dave Ramsey's rule. You should not buy a house if you have debt. If you're looking to buy a house, become debt-free, get 20% down. 20% down and a 15-year mortgage, fixed mortgage, and you pay it off early. Your house can be a curse or your house can be a blessing. And it's wonderful to have a house as a blessing. Let me tell you about that. And then you pay it off early. Here's the next thing. Be a cheerful giver. Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else so you can live and give like no one else. There's no better feeling than giving. I told you this before, that my goal is to give $1 million away every single year. And you know what? I'm getting closer and closer. I was figuring that out with all the ministries that we do, the money that we give away, and then all the money I spend on our group, which I love to do, all the things that we do. I mean, we're getting closer and closer. And guess what? I love it. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the best feeling in the world. My wife and I serve in a ministry. It's called Hands and Feet Foundation. This is a ministry in Jacksonville, Florida. Michelle's been there. A couple guys from Carl's been there. It's the least of these. These people are drug addicts. They're living in the streets. They're homeless. We are the music people. My wife and I go up there. I wear a pair of shorts, sandals, and a t-shirt. They don't know we give anything. We're just the music people. But we're able to give to this man. We're able to give to this ministry and watch lives being changed. It's incredible. It's nothing better than that. Nothing better than that. And the cool part about it, I can let you guys know, none of those people know. We just play music, and these people's lives are being changed. When they're building new homes, homeless shelters, all kinds of things are happening. We know where the blessings and all the praise goes to, but just to be part of that, to be able to give, that's what you were designed to do. We don't just brag about the money, we spread and we give and we give and we give, and it's such a fantastic feeling, and it's just amazing. It's absolutely awesome, and that's what I want for each and every one of you, because God loves a cheerful giver. Amen? Yeah. Amen. There is, amen. Yeah. In that basic instructions before leaving earth, there's a part of Luke that says, give and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured unto you. Prosper. The next thing I want to talk about is hope real fast. I have learned that in life, we are either beginning to go into a storm, or we're going to be in the middle of a storm, or getting out of a storm. And when I'm talking about hope, I'm not talking about the worldly vision of hope. I'm talking about a confident expectation, something to look forward to. Nowhere at all, like in the basic instructions before leaving earth, does it say your life's going to be fantastic. Your life is going to be great. In In fact, it says you're gonna have all kinds of obstacles, challenges, difficulties. If you're getting into sales, if you're working with Retriever Merchant Solutions, it's not always perfect. Sometimes we have rough days, sometimes we're broke, sometimes we miss presentations, sometimes we go through difficulties, but we have hope. We never give up. We keep going, we keep marching, we keep moving forward. No matter whatever happens in our life, we keep marching forward. We have hope. Then I want to talk about future. There's a great verse right there. But I want to talk about future. Today is the beginning of the rest of your amazing life. Today, right here. The past is gone. What are you going to do going forward in your life? You're designed for greatness. What are you going to do with the gifts that you've been given? There's talkers and there's doers. So we can talk a good game at the summit, right? Hey, give me a shot. Hey, I'm going to write 500 this year. I mean, we do all that, right? But what are we going to do on Monday? What are we going to do on Tuesday? You know, sometimes people talk about, well, that Daniel Langston, man, he's just a great sales guy. Justin Sullivan, man, I'm going to go talk to him and find out what his secret is. You know what he's going to tell you? Go to freaking work. That's what he's going to tell you, right? And they're all going to, you're going to find one thing that they have in common. And they go to work. And people say, 600. I know some of you guys think they go, oh, Rich Norton's here. Come on in. Where do I sign? That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at all. Sometimes it does. But here's my schedule. I was sitting down with James and John for breakfast this morning, and he's asking, what's your schedule like? Okay, when I get up, I told him 4 in the morning. I play guitar. I listen to good, positive things. I send out inspirational things to our group, right? Everybody gets them. Yeah. Sometimes I wake some of you guys up when you get them, right? So I send them all out. I drive out to the area at 6:45. Sometimes I leave earlier. Sometimes I'm out 7, but usually 6:30 to 7 I'm out the door. I may drive 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I drive to the area, go to work in the area, come back, and I do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I take my hat off, my Retriever hat, visit my family, have fun with the family, take the weekend off, go right back at it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now here's what I'm going to tell you. If you do that, please get this, all right, please. If you do that, I promise you, your future is going to look amazing. It's going to look incredible. That's the opportunity that we have with Retriever Merchant Solutions. If you do that and you grasp hold of that and you say, I got the greatest opportunity in the world. It's been handed to me. All I got to do is go out there, make the calls, make it happen, and I can have all my dreams come true. What a fantastic opportunity that is. And so I'm saying the future for all of you looks amazing. So my question again, what are your plans for 2020? What are your plans? Hope, we talked about future, prosperity. The decision to have a great 2020 is made right now. It's made right now. Will there be obstacles along the way? Yes. Will there be challenges along the way? Yep. Will sometimes it suck? Yes. Yeah, sometimes life sucks, but we keep going. We get through it. We get through it. Nothing's going to stop it. Nothing's going to stop it. I'm keeping moving, man. I'm moving. Nothing's getting in my way. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to have the best year of my entire life. I'll be on that trip. I'll be coming up here. They're going to give me awards next year. I'll be number 1. I'll be the best. I'll be a millionaire with Retriever Merchant Solutions. That's what we have. So grasp hold of the opportunity, and that's my blessing for you, and that's what I want to share with all of you today. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.